Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to talk about AI and SEO essentials for jewelers. It's the future of jewelry marketing, incorporating AI with SEO. We'll also just talk about kind of general AI knowledge and ways that jewelers can use AI. Have a couple guests today that we'll introduce here in just a minute. If you're unfamiliar with GemFind, we've been in the space for over 25 years, helping jewelers with all things digital. We're a Shopify partner, the only Shopify Plus partner in the jewelry space. We're an Edge partner, which is part of the reason why we schedule these webinars every month. Edge adds these to their calendar as well. So we talk to a lot of Edge customers here. Um, and we integrate with the Edge point of sale with the Shopify websites. We also have a lot of apps, Ring Builder, Diamond Search, basically your one-stop shop for all things digital marketing and SEO and PPC and everything like that. A couple of us at the JCK show. I'm Anthony Arechiga, VP of Sales and Marketing, coming up on my 19th year here at GemFind. I've helped a lot of jewelers over the years with generating in-store foot traffic and getting the right user experience on their website. Happy to be here. We also have Rodney Roberts. Rodney is overall AI wizard and I don't know what your official position is, Rodney, but if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rodney. My official title is Director of Product and AI Initiatives. I've been with GemFind for a little over 2 years, but I've been in the space for, similar to Anthony, about 20 years. I've worked for a number of point of sale and inventory control companies. I've traveled really the world, all through North America, Australia, New Zealand, installing these systems. So I've spent a lot of times with jewelers and have a pretty good idea of how to make things work for people. So that's me.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. We also have Daniel Rodriguez. A lot of you know Daniel. He's been with us for quite a few years, and he's our technical SEO director. Daniel, are you there?
Yes,
Yeah, if you want to say a couple things about
yes.
yourself.
Thank you for joining, everyone.
Yeah.
We've been helping multiple jewelry stores and multiple jewelry designers to achieve their marketing needs in the last few years with SEO changing and AI being the most trending marketing tool lately. And that's what we're going to help you with here. We're going to help you to utilize what's out there for you to improve your store sales.
Yeah, totally. Thanks, Daniel. So what we're going to cover is the evolution of jewelry marketing. We'll talk about AI for jewelry marketing, SEO essentials, and basically how AI is affecting SEO, and integrating AI with SEO, AI for product descriptions. Rodney will give some insights there. Daniel will kind of go over some hands-on demonstration of some AI initiatives. Also, keyword research for jewelry stores, really important. It's a whole part of the SEO and AI process that we'll discuss. And then we'll show some success stories and then talk about the future of AI and SEO and jewelry marketing. And then we'll open it up for a Q&A session. Although, if you do have any questions throughout the webinar, feel free to go ahead and type in the Q&A and or on the chat, whatever is easier for you to locate. Happy to answer questions throughout. We don't need to always wait to the end. So, introduction to AI. So, why AI for jewelry? There's all kinds of different ways you can use it. Personalized customer experiences, automates marketing tasks, enhances product recommendations, improves customer service like chatbots. Also, email automation is another one that's not essentially listed here, but there's a lot of great ways to use AI for every aspect of your, digital marketing essentially. And then again, personalized recommendations for customers, automates social media posts, provides data-driven insights for ads and campaigns. We'll talk more about ads and how AI is really affecting even the, Google ads and Meta ads is, a big part of all things, digital marketing today. A couple of things that have evolved, obviously, traditional marketing have moved online. Traditional marketing methods like print and ads and billboards the rise of e-commerce platforms like Shopify and digital marketing tools given jewelers more opportunities to connect with customers. And then today, AI and SEO are crucial for staying competitive in the digital age. Really, it's AI is like if you incorporate SEO properly and you're going to show up on AI. And also, it's if you incorporate SEO properly, your website is going to function the very best way it could. SEO is all about user experience today. And if you have the right user experience, you're going to show up in the AI responses. So we'll talk a little bit about that and how that's going to apply to a jewelry store. Um, but those are crucial for staying competitive in the digital age. AI and SEO work together to create a seamless, personalized, and efficient marketing strategy for jewelry stores. If you build a true SEO strategy, it actually helps improve your well, site traffic for one, but also, good landing page experience for your ad campaigns. Um, if you drive more traffic, relevant traffic to your website, your ads perform better as well because you're adding more people into the funnel, so you can start retargeting and have the marketing automation funnel really kick in if you're doing AI SEO. A couple AI tools is, like I said, chatbots, AI content creation automatically generate SEO optimized content for product descriptions, blogs, and social media. We'll talk more about several of those things here today. AI-powered ads create targeted, personalized ads that resonate with the customer's preferences. So, if you're using Google Ads, Performance Max, or we call them PMax, it has AI built in. So, like, it's finding the right audience at the right time, and really utilizing AI to, continue to optimize every single campaign. So, AI is really built into the engines now of the ad platforms. Um, as long as you're setting yourself up for success and not having to do too much manual optimization on the older types of campaigns. There's still a lot of details related to Google Ads and Meta Ads that need to be understood to have like true success, but the the latest types of ads perform great because AI is embedded in them. Recommended engines use AI to offer personalized product suggestions based on browsing history and preferences. There's a lot of different things that you can do nowadays to incorporate AI into a website. We're going to have Rodney kind of talk about this. Rodney, did you want to share your screen or do you want me to just go through the slides?
I think for now, I just continue to go through the slides, but I'll jump in with my screen where appropriate.
Okay.
So kind of as we start looking at this, one of the things you'll notice, and I'm sure everybody's aware, is that there's quite a lot of AI tools out there. It seems like just about every day we're getting a new tool, a new feature, a new thing. Many times when I tell people, oh, I work in AI, I get one or two responses. Oh my God, why are you working for that? AI is the destroyer of the world. That's one. The other one is, oh yeah, that's awesome. Have you heard about this tool? And I try to keep up to date on them, but there's so many and it is moving so fast that every day you're going to see new ones. And my prediction here is that eventually they're going to start to consolidate, and the ones that work will work, and they'll be kind of the big winners in this overall. And these are the ones we have listed out right here, right now. ChatGPT, probably one of the first, if not the first, that really kind of launched this whole AI phenomenon. And the way they did that was they created ChatGPT. They had their AI engine in the background. They had their models working, but they're mainly used for research and science and things like that. But they kind of changed the game when they said, talk to it, see what it can tell you. And so from its first version, they hit some bumps and improvements along the way, but they really opened up the window to let people have a conversation with AI. So they're one of the big players. Anthropic, Claude, a lot of people call it Claude, Anthropic. That's another great one. They've got some different priorities. They've got some different structure within their company, and they kind of solve problems in different ways. So it's really exciting. I think they're a little bit more ahead in terms of trying to do agentic AI or having the AI work with you. They're constantly releasing new features there. They've recently done the Claude Co-work, which you can actually turn on your computer and have it work with files with you on your machine, which is great. You've got Gemini. Gemini is everything Google, and it's built around so many different tools. It seems like every feature is a product with them. And realistically, they need to consolidate their tools into one space because it's just so spread out. One of the big ones for them recently has been a Nano Banana for image generation, which is great. It really upped the game for generating images, and then ChatGPT was not far beyond it. But if some of you remember, in the early days, a lot of the problems were too many fingers on a hand, weird glitches. Some may be aware of like the early ones where they were just so glitchy and so bad, and over time they've gotten better and better and better. They did hit kind of a plateau phase where they were okay, but you could clearly tell it was AI. And now at this stage, they've introduced enough realism and enough filtering in there that it's very difficult to tell the difference anymore. And that's really only going to get smoother and smoother. Not
Yeah,
on here.
I'd also like to add this image is actually generated by Nano Banana because it's integrated into Google Slides. And also one thing, this slide mentions AEO, answer engine optimization. We'll talk more about that, but Gemini is really, you know, basically the answer engine optimization. So when you optimize your website properly for SEO, you're going to show up on it's the very first response that comes up on Google now. So it's really important to show up on those answer engine optimization results. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go.
That's a great point. Google search has changed dramatically because the first thing, not for every term, but for by and large most of them, the first thing you get is AI, and then a little button that says dive deeper in AI mode. So they're really trying to pull people in there and kind of steer them that way. And it's advantageous for a number of reasons. You get better results, and they can also better train their models. If they take that search engine inquiry and then you explore it deeper in AI mode, they're refining how to serve up the content that you want. I saw something recently that said that essentially social media as we know it and understand it died something like 5 years ago. It used to be that when you were on social media, when you're browsing through there, you were looking at content that was generated and posted by your friends and people you knew. But it's not that way anymore. It's really just content interest at the moment. So what you're seeing these days is when you browse through, it's feeding into whatever you're interested in at the moment, and it's feeding it with a ton of generated content that's relevant to exactly what you're after. So it's no longer about really sharing person to person stuff on social media. It's largely pulls you into a rabbit hole and follows your interest at the moment, and it changes dynamically as you go. So very interesting there. There's another one that's not really mentioned here in the slide. There's Grok AI, which is another one that's out there. We've got Perplexity. We've got you name it. There's just so many of these that are out there, and so really, it's about finding the right tool for the job that you're at. I would say they each have their strengths and their weaknesses. So just kind of being well versed in what's available is really advantageous. Having said that, you want to go ahead and advance to the next slide there, Anthony. How does AI work? So that's a big question. Go back one because I want to expand on that before we jump into it. It's fairly complex because we've got this AI and people are investing all kinds of money into it, right? It takes all the computer RAM, it takes all the graphic cards. They're building out these huge data centers. They're cooling these data centers. It's having impact on the power grid. It's having a lot of impact on society, and really underneath the hood, not many people really know how AI works. We all have worked through spreadsheets. We've all pretty much seen some code here and there. Some of us have been into databases to kind of understand data, but what's under the hood of an AI? How does it actually take your input and turn it into what feels like intelligent conversation? And how intelligent is it really? Is it really intelligent, or is it just really, really good math? Go ahead and go to the next slide. So the answer is it's extremely good math. So as we can see here in point number one, what it does is it takes the input that you put in and it tokenizes that. So it breaks it into small pieces of information and tokenizes them. So an example of the diamond ring, the is one token, diamond is another token, ring is another token. So it takes those tokens and it passes them into, it makes them vector integers. So it puts them into vectors. So now diamond gets one rating, the gets another rating, ring gets another rating, and they go in these high dimensional algebraic tables, okay? Now, once they're in there, it's no longer looking at words. It's no longer looking at language or semantics or any of that. It's looking at the mathematical representations of these tokens. And what it does is it can use attention to determine the relationship between each of these tokens in the transformation layer. So it says diamond and ring, those are pretty important, strong link between them. The word the, not very important. It's just a linking word. It's more about semantics. It's more about language, not as relevant for what it needs to do next. So it looks at that and it looks at these tokens and it's doing high dimensional calculations. So the premier models over at ChatGPT, they actually are using something like 16,888 dimensions. So let's stop there for a second. What do you mean 16,888 dimensions? I'm aware of three, maybe four spatial dimensions that I can express, but these are not spatial dimensions. These are mathematical dimensions. So each one of those has a relationship to the other tokens in the table. So through there, what it does is it predicts through these transformation layers exactly what the most likely next token will be. So we started with the diamond ring. And so now it has to say, all right, what makes sense next? Beautiful has 82% likely, elegant 12%, classic 3%. So it goes through and it says, oh, beautiful is probably the next one. And then it repeats the pattern and goes again. So when it's building the reply back to you, it's building it one word at a time. It really has no idea what it's exactly saying to you. It's just knowing the mathematical relationship between the words and the training on the data set models indicates that this is most likely your next word. And so it does that at scale. Like it's doing this billions and billions and billions and billions of times in real time, just very, very quickly. And so the result is that it comes out the other side and it seems like it's intelligent. But without that input, without you putting stuff in there, without that high dimensional math, it really isn't that, there is no actual personality in there. It's not conscious. It doesn't really understand time very well. Sometimes it struggles with mathematical concepts. But at a high level, that's how it works. So what does that mean for us? For Gemtext AI, the product that we developed, Gemtext AI takes the jewelry data, breaks it into meaningful parts, maps those parts into computable relationships, and generates product content one token at a time. The result is a scalable, consistent, revenue-ready copy instead of generic vendor text. So that little snippet right there, everybody that's in this webinar now, you probably know more about actually how AI actually works than just about anybody you're going to talk to. You can sit down with an AI expert, and there's a good chance that they don't really understand what's happening under the hood either. This is very high level. There's much deeper, mathematical relationships and safety guidelines and weighted parameters. But overall, that's something, a little bit of trivia for you of how it actually works. So let's pass into the next slide. So what this means for jewelry retailers, your product data is going to be your competitive advantage. AI will turn the raw SKU data into customer-ready content instantly. The better your descriptions, the higher your SEO visibility. And that's sort of the purpose of this whole webinar, is to help increase your SEO visibility, get you ranking at the top, make sure that you're being seen when people are searching. There's an old joke that goes, what's the best place to hide a dead body? And the answer is page 2 of Google, because nobody ever looks there. If you're not on that top page, nobody ever sees it. So the better the content is, the higher your conversion rates are going to be. And the scale of this is it can do thousands and thousands of products updated in minutes, not weeks. So if I said, hey, sit down in front of this data set and write meaningful text, I want a product title, I want a product description, I want a collection guess, I want product tags, it would take weeks and weeks and weeks of work. And it's very boring, tedious work, but AI can really jump in here and help. So this is a task that AI is greatly suited for. Let's go ahead and hit one more next slide. I think this one passes back over to Daniel. We'll get into the Gemtext AI stuff a little bit later on, and I'll show you some examples. But for now, I think this one kicks over.
Yeah, this one's for me actually. So we're just going to talk about the SEO essentials and online visibility. Oops, sorry, I was muted. So this one's actually me. SEO essentials, we're going to talk about online visibility and what those essentials are. So on page SEO, some of the important essentials would be your basics, title, tags, meta descriptions, image alt text. Those are all critical for search engines to understand your content. And high quality keyword optimized content improves your rankings. And then really the most important thing is dedicated pages for search queries. So we're going to talk more about and go through keyword research, but really the big, most important thing related to SEO is having relevant content according to what people are actually searching for. If you create content related to what people are searching for, which it could be, you have to think about the search intent. Is it, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, and then create a piece of content based on what people are actually searching for? That's how you show up for SEO, because people are going to type in something like, where to buy engagement rings in Chicago, Illinois, or whatever it is. So if you have a page or a piece of content that um, addresses that query, then you're going to show up on SEO, you're going to show up on the AI responses, because really that's what AI responses are trying to do, is find answers to questions. That's answer engine optimization in a nutshell. Let's see here. Okay. Rodney wanted to mention, if you have any questions, yeah, don't be shy. Feel free to go type them in into the chat or in the Q&A, either or. Um, Off-page SEO, link building through trusted jewelry websites, directories, and reviews help boost your website's authority. Still important. I would say on-page SEO has gotten more important in today's day and age because of AI, and also user experience. Off-page SEO is still important. You have to have a certain amount of signals to show that you're a trusted authority on the topics you're telling Google to rank you on. Although a significant amount of content creation actually affects your authority now as well. So it's really content creation is the name of the game. Also, you want to be doing things like backlinks and getting listed on directories, getting more reviews on your Google My Business. Those are all really still important things, but you got to have the proper on-page SEO strategy before you do anything. So that's really important. Also, local SEO, optimize your jewelry store for local searches like engagement rings in city, like I was mentioning. And then Google My Business optimization and reviews can significantly impact local search rankings. Daniel has a whole SEO strategy to get you to dominate the Google My Business, the Google Map rankings as well. I don't know if he's going to talk about that today, but um, something that we've been able to really help our jewelers dominate their local markets through the map by doing on-page SEO. So we'll talk more about that here in just a minute. Um, so this is what I mean by landing pages. So once you select keywords, which again, we're going to go in a little bit of details about keyword research as well. You want to create dedicated landing pages that are built for every search query tailored to the search intent. So they're typically going to be one of the following: a content landing page for local keywords and potentially like broad designer pages, collection pages for long tail shopping keywords. So there's kind of a small screenshot up above of a collection page. Typically, what we do for collection pages is create a lot of keyword rich content, but on the bottom of the collection page, so it's not pushing the products down. If you have relevant content on that page, they usually yield pretty high rankings. So, first important thing is, okay, what do you guys specialize in? We have clients specialize in estate engagement rings or estate jewelry, or, so if you can find keywords that have good search volume that'll move the needle in your website traffic, then you're going to create a collection for that. And then we're going to write some content for that collection. Or you could do blogs or information pages for informational types of intent or top of the funnel types of content. And then sometimes products in for transactional intent. And a lot of times we can't control product SEO, but if you work with Rodney, the reason why we can't is because we're doing an edge integration or we're doing an integration with another POS. So it's really the jeweler has to be educated on creating the right product descriptions and understanding the keyword research, when naming their product. So keyword research is really important. We'll talk about that here in a minute as well. Combining AI with SEO, you can create AI-powered content, content creation, use AI to write SEO optimized product descriptions and blog content automatically. We do that. Rodney, like he had mentioned, he's, has a tool for product descriptions. I think he's going to give some insights and a small demo there as well. And then how AI enhances SEO helps with keyword research and analysis. Daniel's going to give an example of keyword research for using AI for keyword research, optimizes content for search engines, generates high quality SEO friendly copy. Also could provide real-time insights. AI can provide live analytics on keyword performance, allowing quick adjustments to your SEO strategy. So if you use tools like SEMrush, they typically have some AI built into it nowadays, and showing like how you're showing up also on AI. So I use that for a lot of my clients that are doing extensive SEO with us. Um, this is like how we like schedule out content. So what we do is we write, um, like 20 blogs per month or even more for some certain clients. We'll do 40 blogs a month, or it just depends on the strategy and how big the market is and everything like that. So really we create a content calendar that shows the posting of the content. And then also we we link a page to the content creation. So it's building authority for those pages. And so we're using AI tools to help us do that, and then creating what we call keyword clusters to support those keywords. When you essentially, give or you want to build rankings on certain keywords, it's not just the keyword itself that is going to, build up the ranking. You have to have supporting keywords or keyword clusters to push up that ranking that link back to that main page. And that's essentially how you build a real true SEO strategy. And you'll see like as you start doing it, your clicks go up, your keywords start ranking, your content impressions move up significantly. We'll show some other examples here in just a minute. But yeah, I mean, we're even doing it for ourselves for GemFind. So I think Daniel was going to talk about the changing landscape of Google Ads and Meta Ads. Daniel, are you there?
Yes, I was muted. As you all guys know, Google has changing and Meta too a lot in the last few months. Now, ideally, you can run the same amount and the same campaigns you're running right now, but to be honest, utilizing Google, and I'm gonna share my screen. Here, 1 second. Utilizing Google Performance Max campaign and letting Google optimize for what you sell in your inventory is going to be a very important piece of your marketing these days. So this is a Performance Max campaign. I already went and fill out some of the settings, so you don't need to see that. And this is an AI section that Google is utilizing these days. You can always skip it and not use it, but it's gonna be better for you if you let Google know a little bit more of you. You can show here what you do, where do you do it, what do you sell, your tone of voice, everything, your Instagram, your Facebook. Here I'm adding engagement rings, wedding rings, diamond jewelry, but this can be multiple things, all the way to gold chains, right? And then Google will generate the assets for you and will match these keywords with the intent of the users. Because right now, all the users, they're not ready to buy. You can see here how you can see search, display, YouTube, discover, even Gmail. What does this mean? This means that with this type of campaign, Google will let you and will show you in all of these channels depending when the user is ready to buy. Maybe the user was searching for engagement rings in the morning, and then they were not obviously ready to buy an engagement ring online, but at night they were watching YouTube, maybe the sports or the news or whatever on Discover. You're going to show with a video that shows the same keywords and the same products that that user was looking about you. So it's really gonna connect every single channel from Google, and will help you to dominate that specific audience, because most of the jewelers are selling obviously bridal jewelry, but there's also more into your inventory. So finding people that might like bridal jewelry, but they might also like watches might be important as well. So this is just one way you can utilize AI and Google Ads. We're gonna go over more information just on how to utilize for SEO. Um, is there anything else for Google Ads, Anthony, or we can jump into
No, I mean,
SEO?
yeah, we could just jump in. Well, Daniel, I mean, I think Rodney was going to go into AI product descriptions next, and then we'll jump into keyword research after that.
Okay, just to let you guys know, if any of you is running Google Ads and you're doing it by yourself, shoot us an email, make an appointment. We can help you to at least audit your account and help you to understand what the weaknesses are and what the opportunities you have. Because you might be spending a lot of money, and just a few little optimizations might help you to get the best out of your money.
Gotcha. Thanks, Daniel. Rodney, did you want to share your screen for the product descriptions, or do you want me to share mine? You're muted.
Let's go back to the slides for just a second, and then we'll move into my screen shortly after.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. 1 second. Are you able to see my screen okay?
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. So using the AI for SEO optimized product descriptions. So Daniel and Anthony have both kind of highlighted and touched a bit on why it's important to have SEO content and why it's important to show up in the results of Google. And as Daniel was just saying, it really is more about attention at the moment. What are your interests at the moment, and figuring out where people are looking, when people are ready to buy, what's going on with the psychology of the buyers. And it's evolving so quickly, and really the people that are going to stand out and be successful in this are the teams that optimize, integrate, and jump in early to AI, and then execute a strategy that will help to support their business. Don't think of AI as replacing all of your marketing ideas or replacing your business. It's really a force multiplier. It's used to enhance what you can do and enhance your reach more quickly. And so that's one of the biggest focuses. So AI tools like Gentext AI that we built, they generate SEO-friendly product descriptions that improve ranking. So as Anthony said, we do integrations with various point of sales like the Edge and others. And when we do that, a lot of times the descriptions of the titles that we see, they're over the course of years, months, days, weeks, and they come from the standpoint of, let's get this inventory into the system, let's get a tag on this jewelry, let's get it out the door. And so often we find that the images are not really up to scale for a website, the product description is not really ready to go for a website. Product tags can be very messy and very difficult to create collections out of. A lot of times it's very inconsistent. One person enters stock one way, another person enters stock another way, a third person enters it a different way again. And so what you end up with is kind of messy data. Now, the Edge has a great system where they can go ahead and they can have a place for web product titles, web product descriptions, and web tags. And what I see a lot of the times when I work with this data is that stuff is not really populated and not very used. So that's where Gemtext AI can step in, and I can take the data from your system. I can generate the product titles, product descriptions, and the meta tags to feed collections. And then I can pull that back into your system. So I can take and run through your whole entire inventory. Usually I just do active products, just what you have in stock, because if it's sold, it's sold. But really the scope is up to you. So once we do that, what returns to you is a data set that's ready to start populating your Shopify site right away. And that's really the best way. We like to keep human in the loop on that. And human in the loop just means double check the AI's work. Because, it's, as we discovered earlier, it's really not that intelligent. It's just high dimensional probability math. It's interesting. It seems very close, but it can make mistakes. And so particularly as you're going through and reviewing the data, you may correct it at some points, and you definitely enhance the photos or take the photos if you don't have them to start. So the big benefits here is efficiency, right? Like it saves so much time. If I were to try and if they were to tell me, hey Rodney, your job is to pull Edge data, write these titles manually, I'd go find another job because that'd just be mind numbing. I don't think I could do it for too long at a time. It's very tedious. And a lot of you in the audience, if you've worked with entering stock to the systems, you're nodding your head right now and saying, oh my God, yeah, he knows it. And consistency. The other thing, we talked a little bit about this earlier when I said, one person enters it one way, one person enters another way. Somebody knows how to spell sapphire. Another person does not know how to spell sapphire. And so you end up with inconsistent data. But with the AI, it's very consistent. So that really helps to make sure that the product titles and descriptions are structured in such a way that they lend themselves to this SEO optimization to really push your products. And the scalability also, it's a great way to compete with the big players on a smaller budget. because instead of having to have these enormous teams of data specialists and refiners and going through it, you can work with us, and we're able to structure the prompts in such a way that it feels very native to your product voice, very regionally, accurate for where you're at, and really hit your target audience better.
And sorry that I interrupt, Rodney. Just letting you guys know that not because you are competing with a big player, maybe you're competing with Case or Sales or Red or Blue Nile or Brilliant Earth, not because they're big, it means they're doing it the right way. So we have customers in multiple markets that they're outperforming these big brands. So it's just understanding how Google wants to read the data out of your product inventory so you can outrank your competition.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Thank you, Daniel. All right, Anthony, let's move to the next slide. Okay, so just at a high level, this is what it works like. So we take your raw data. So you recognize over there on the left-hand side, probably stuff that you guys have in your existing systems, right? 14K, WG, DIA, RG, 1.25 CT, VS, G-H, SZ7. So that's very good shorthand. It fits nicely on the tag. It makes it easy to sell when you're on the floor. But when you push that to a website, people expect to be over-romanced a little bit. They want to read a nice description. They need to have that emotional connection. And this raw data is just not going to do it. So what the GemText AI system does is it goes through there, it can understand the attributes, it breaks them into tokens, it knows the probability relationship, it prioritizes sales-based language, and it generates optimized content that's based, it's the right length, it fits nicely into things, and it will really start to improve your rankings. So on the other side of it, we see stunning 14-karat white gold ring featuring a 1.25-karat round diamond. And that's just much better than what we have over there on the left-hand side. That leads to better search engine optimization and better conversion. So that's the path for how the data is moving through and how you improve your rankings and outrank your competitors. Next slide. So the future of jewelry commerce is definitely AI driven. The future of many industries right now are AI driven. And so the retailers who structure their data will outperform those who don't. AI is not going to replace your business, it's just going to amplify it. And the advantage goes to those who adopt early and execute well. So right now we're all at a point where everybody's got these tools, right? AI would be great, especially if I was the only one that had it, because it'd be a huge advantage. But right now, everybody's got access and the barrier of entry is pretty low. So the people that are really going to perform well here are those that see the power of this, jump in, adopt it, and execute it right away. So GemText AI can turn your product data into revenue-ready content at scale. And so if that's resonating with you, if you're hearing that and you're thinking, yeah, that's what I need to do something like that, let's have that conversation. That's what we're here to help with. And maybe you have some new thoughts or some additional thoughts to this. So maybe you can, we can work together to really execute your vision. I'm going to go ahead and just quickly, I want to show a couple of things on my screen. So I'm going to share it. All right. Can you guys see my screen? I'm taking that as a yes.
Yeah, we can see it.
So this is an example of a data file I get from one of our vendors, and very true to form, this is what's coming through. 14 kW, 3-carat total weight, emerald cut 3-carat center, F plus, VS plus, LGD ring, 8.8 GMS. And the only details I really get in here is a SKU, a very short description, metal, and it's not even broken up color versus metal type. I have to figure that out. I get total weight in grams. I get a very broad category. And sometimes, not always, I get a collection. So ring. What kind of ring is this? Is it an engagement ring? Is it a wedding ring? Is it a fashion ring? What kind of ring is this? And same kind of thing here. Ear with 2 R's. And I'm guessing this is based on a legacy system that's got limited input for these categories, probably a limit of 4 characters here, and probably also maybe a limit of 4 characters here too. So the data is messy and inconsistent. Sometimes I get things like a halo pendant, but a lot of times I'm not getting all the details I need. F plus, VS plus, size 10, quantity on hand 1, price 21.81, and hey, here's an image for you. So that becomes a challenge. If you're trying to push this into your website, if you're trying to rank on Google with this little information, you're kind of in a bad spot. So what happens is we take that data, and it came straight from this same file, just using this basics and this image. I process it, and I get a description. Sophisticated men's solitaire featuring a stunning 3-carat lab-grown diamond and pristine 14-karat white gold, exceptional clarity and brilliance for the modern gentleman. Okay, that's much better. Now we're talking. A product title, shorter version, 14 karat white, 3 karat lab diamond solitaire men's ring. Okay, that's pretty good. And even better, instead of these rough categories with sometimes a subcategory or collection, I'm starting to actually get good collections. These become product tags that allow me to go ahead and say, all right, let's put this into a collection on my Shopify page that makes sense. So just from this source data, I was able to generate this and come out the other side looking much, much cleaner, much, much better. So that really kind of, in essence, is the power of what the GemText AI can do. And so if you feel like you've got some messy data and you want to get it cleaned up and you really want to be ranking well on Google, this is a great starting point. Anthony, if you want to go back to your screen, I think there may be one more slide there, or there may not be.
Yeah, I think we're good there.
Okay.
I'm going to
So
talk
yeah,
about keyword research, and then Daniel's going to go over some AI powered keyword research here after that. So I'm just going to talk about um, let's see here, how to do keyword research in general, and then here. So when you're doing keyword research, it's important to find exact search queries, like I mentioned before. Users are searching that users are searching for that are relevant to your business. So once the search queries are found, it's important to create the right content and page type that will answer that query. This will allow your business to show in AI responses and the answer engine, as well as the search engine result placements. So you'll yield all of the results if you focus on keyword research. And the way that you would do that is use one of these tools like SEMrush Keyword Magic Tool, Ubersuggest, Ahrefs. They all have different ways that usually they're using Google's actual search volume. And so the way that I typically do local research is I'll just put in something really broad, like and I'll typically use SEMrush Keyword Magic Tool, but I'll put in something broad like jewelry, Chicago, and then see what comes up if I find a broad match. And then I'll find all the search queries that have those two keywords in it. And then we'll find keywords that have a lot of search volume and potentially low keyword difficulty or high difficulty. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but really the main goal is finding keywords that are actually going to move the needle in your website traffic. Because if we're just targeting keywords that we think we know, like and they're really broad, odds are you're probably not going to get much website traffic. And nowadays you can add, with AI content, and Daniel has some like automated ways to do SEO. You can create, 80 to 150 pages, where in the past you would, just optimize for 10 keywords or something like that. Now it's important to have a lot more keywords because, again, those keywords actually, they all connect to each other. And the more website traffic you get, the higher your domain authority is. So then you start dominating the search engines for everything you want to start ranking for, both locally and potentially nationally or globally, depending on what your business model is. So a lot of our clients, they have a jewelry store. They care mostly about in-store foot traffic, but they also want to scale their e-commerce over time. And so doing keyword research will help you determine that. And so highly recommend spend a lot of time there. I could spend an hour on this subject. So just for the sake of time, we're just going to talk about it here. But I'll also show some like actual examples of jewelers that we've done this for that are their traffic is nearly 10x in the last year. So we'll show some of those examples. I think Daniel was going to show um, share his screen and go over how you can use AI to help you with keyword research as well.
Thank you, Anthony. Let me know when you can guys see my screen.
Yep, could see it.
Perfect. I already went ahead and I did a quick research, but the idea here is that you utilize everything you have in your inventory for Google to understand more of you. And why does that mean? It's because 99% of our customers, they want engagement rings and wedding rings. And I just want to sell engagement rings. But you have a full inventory in your store that people has needs. People are looking for even a chain or a necklace or a pendant or a hoop earring. There's people with multiple needs, so you cannot overlook at your inventory. So I'm gonna show you multiple examples. Here, for example, we have this customer. Right now, for example, this customer here, you can go to any of your websites, will have this code on top. You can add sitemap.xml, and it's gonna show you all your inventory. But Google uses multiple types of data to read your inventory. In this case, I think I'm missing the HTTPS, the H. In this case, Google uses XML to read your product data. So all of these letters and numbers equals to the products of this website. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab these, we're gonna go to Gemini, and we're gonna say a very simple query. Give me a list of SEO keywords to target based on my inventory. And then you copy your full inventory, and then you paste it there, and it's gonna give you a list of keywords you can target. Here, for example, it is split it between chains, earrings. Let's grab the first example, chains. We grab the chains, we go to SEMrush, and we can analyze 100 keywords at a time. So I'm already analyzing these keywords that Gemini gave me. And right off the bat, we have 14K gold figure chain. 13,000 people are looking for a transaction to buy.
Yeah, 1,300 per month. Yeah.
Sorry, 1,300 per month are looking to buy a gold figure chain, and it's very easy to rank. So there's multiple ways people search. You can take a look at all of these. It goes from 1,300 all the way to 50. Very specific things like gold fox chain. Maybe the chain has a fox pendant or something. So it's really important that you don't overlook what you have in your inventory.
Probably a typo. They probably meant gold box chain.
Well, I think they have one product that says fox. Yeah, they have a few. So we have customers with multiple designs, animals, colors, shapes, forms, you name it. So you can see right off the bat, this is a quick example. You can see how people are searching for multiple things. So please don't overlook at your inventory. There's more than just engagement rings and bridal. We understand that's what really drives sales because people are always going to get married, but you will also have more opportunities if you go and target your other categories and your other products. So this is just one example, and I'm going to show you another example on how this same customer, we identify he had more than just engagement ring, that he has engagement rings by gemstone, because people, believe me, will search by gemstone. So you can search emerald engagement rings in Haverford, Pennsylvania, which is where this customer is. And you will see that he is first on the map right here. And the first result is his website with a collection that sells emerald engagement rings. So you can even go, if you only want to do engagement rings, you have a full list of variations of engagement rings. People are searching from sapphire, from emerald, from ruby, from lab grown diamonds, from styles, halo, solitary, you name it. I'm gonna show you another example. We have a customer in Atlanta. This works whether you're in a remote area, not in a big city, or you're in a big area like Atlanta. You type halo engagement rings, here's the customer, and here's the customer, first position. How do we do that? The same way. We went through the inventory and we created collections and content for where we identify people are searching. Then Anthony mentioned about Google Maps, because almost everyone is trying to target search, but we also target your map. So this is an example. It took almost a year. You can see 1st of July is when we started tracking this, all the way to today. I did another report. This is the keyword custom engagement rings in Atlanta. July 1st, yeah, he was first in some places, but he was also not really showing north of Atlanta. Right now, he is everywhere, first and second position, all Atlanta. And this is gonna be true for multiple keywords, not just engagement rings. If you go and you look at, for example, diamond earrings, take a look at this. Same. First, look at this. This is even better. July 1st, 2025, he's nowhere to be found in multiple places, like 10 position here. Today, he's everywhere in Atlanta. So by really understanding your products and the collections and categories that you have, and then creating the right content, you're going to be able to really find more opportunities within your own inventory. You don't need to go and break your head. Oh, who do I target now? Well, let's grab what do you have, and let's find these people, because there's going to be someone trying to buy every single item that you have in that inventory. Yeah, and that's my example.
Thanks, Daniel. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and that keyword research tool is basically, a keyword magic tool that I was explaining on
SEMrush, yeah.
So it's great to, you can also look at what Daniel was showing was the keyword difficulty. So usually on a scale of 0 to 100, you can see the keyword difficulty. If you can find like, high volume search queries with low keyword difficulty, low hanging fruit. Like, so it's important to be strategic in the way that you structure your SEO. You can also target the competitive ones as well, which will take more time and take more effort. But it's important to also move the needle on the website traffic with relevant keywords that you might not even thought of before, but they have a lot of search volume, but not a lot of competition. So this is an example of a client over a course of a little over a year. They started at about 1,500 visits per month. Now they're over at 21,000 visits per month to their website. So basically, doing the same strategy, finding the keywords, building out content, and then creating a significant amount of content every month. We're writing blogs, like, again, 20 blogs per month, 5 days a week. We're also creating new landing pages and like Daniel was showing to create pages based for the service area grid. So when you do this, you're showing up on the search engine result placements. You're showing up on AI responses. You're showing up on the Google map. You're dominating the market if you follow this strategy. This client, we're tracking 100 keywords for them right now. And 99 have improved, only one have declined. So again, the one is probably something that we can figure out. And usually if we see something declining, then we will optimize that page or create more content for that page. So it's good to see those things as well. But I mean, 99 improved out of 100. That's really strong. And you can see how it's just their domination of the rankings have just continued to flourish and go up. And this is what it looks like when we're creating content is, we're starting this is, I think, for ours, like we just started doing this like last month, and we're already getting 822,000 content impressions, 3,900 clicks, or this might be for someone, up 45% from the previous month. 24 keywords, new keywords ranking, that's up 41%. So when you create the content, we're able to measure the success of them. This is another client. They're in Washington, D.C. We started helping them only 6 months ago. So it's right around this point, but you can see how they went from, maybe 18,000 visits per month, which is still a pretty good number. I don't know if I'm cutting out it says my internet connection is unstable. Hopefully, you heard me there, but we started at probably like 18,000 visits per month, somewhere around there. They're over at 28,000. So they've grown by 10,000 visits per month in 6 months. That's like huge. And that you could see how their keywords are just going up and up and up. So this is like, again, when you do SEO properly, you get the right results. So what's next? For the future of AI and SEO, it will continue to evolve. And it'll continuing to evolve to help jewelers stay competitive by automating more tasks like customer personalization and advanced product recommendations. AI is really integral in 2026 for your SEO strategy, helping jewelers dominate search rankings and attract more qualified traffic. So it was essentially what we just kind of reviewed. And also predictive analytics, like use AI to predict trends in the jewelry market and adjust your SEO strategy accordingly. I mean, really, you can use SEO to even drive purchase decisions, see what people are searching for, look at trends, look at search volume. Are you buying a product that, look, you're hoping to sell, but there's no search volume. So there's a lot that you can be doing with AI and with SEO, keyword research. If anyone has any questions, feel free to type them in the Q&A. Happy to answer any questions. If you're unfamiliar with GemFind, we can help with Shopify web design, point of sale integration, full digital marketing management, SEO and AEO optimization, PMAX and meta advertising management, email automation setups and flows, dual cloud and product feed integration. We've got like so many different services. But you can also reach out to me directly if you have any questions, Anthony at gemfind.com. Happy to send over any of the content that we reviewed today. If you have any questions, we're happy to also jump on a call and do a free consultation. You can also reach me at my phone number, 800-373-4373, extension 115. Feel free to type in any questions in the Q&A if you have any. We'll wait here for a couple minutes. Daniel or Rodney, did you have anything else to discuss while we're waiting for some questions?
I mean, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for your time here. I hope that you learned something today, and I hope that rather than just learn it, that you can take it aboard and make a plan to implement it, because wish all of you great success. And great success kind of comes down to planning and executing a strategy, and we're here to help.
Same. If you have any question at any time, don't hesitate. Shoot us an email. We'll be helping you with any AI or SEO, digital marketing needs.
Yeah. Tim asked, hey, Tim, what is Rodney's email address? I think it's just Rodney at gemfind.com, right, Rodney?
That is correct. Rodney at gemfind.com. Keep it simple.
Yeah. And then someone was asking, do you all do education? Would you teach someone how to implement these tactics? Yeah. I mean, it's not a, exact service we provide, but we're happy to do a consultation and like have a one-on-one call if you like. So, no worries. Just reach out to us and we'd be happy to point you in the right direction.
Yeah, I think that all starts with a question, because there's so many different strategies and initiatives that you can do. And so let's have the conversation. Let's get in there and talk about what you're trying to do, what education you need, and let us help you to empower your team to grab this by the horns and ride it, because that's really what we want to do is we want to empower you guys to make the sales.
Cameron was asking, excuse me, does Gemtex AI integrate with the Edge directly for us to use, or is it something that GemFind exports and imports? Rodney, if you want to answer that.
So currently the method is that we export the data out, we run it through the AI, and then import it back in. We are working with the Edge to look at the possibility of doing a direct integration. So fingers crossed that's on the roadmap, but officially nothing certain in the works, but definitely working along those lines. And then after we pull the data back in order to keep things consistent and running forward, we go through and we help you establish the templates within the Edge to kind of make it so that new inventory, as you go through, you've got the correct data structure. It's pretty close to the same as doing what you do in Gemtex AI, but a little bit more limited because it's truly template based. So if you want to reach out, Cameron, then we can have a conversation. I can show you how that flow. I've helped a number of Edge users get through that process, and everybody's very happy with what we've done. So happy to help you too.
Yeah, Cameron's I know you, Cameron. Thanks for asking that question. Great client and has the Edge integration, so might be good. Cameron, feel free to reach out to Rodney directly on that at rodney@gemfind.com. And then, hey, Tom. Tom was asking, does Gemtex work only with the Edge?
No, it works with any data set that I can export from and import into. So depending on what platform you're using, I'd be happy to have a look at it. I'm sort of a whiz with getting data into and out of systems. So Yeah, reach out. Let's talk. Let's look at how we get it out and get it back into your system. And if you've got another system, I'd be happy to reach out to the creators of that system as well and look at direct integration. So feel free to refer me around. Tell your system provider to reach out to Rodney and get Gemtext integrated into the platform. I'll buy you a beer for that. But yeah, it's definitely something that I'm working actively on.
Yeah, I know. I actually know Tom as well. And Tom, I don't think he has a POS currently, but has product information in Shopify. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, that works great. I can pull it straight out of Shopify and straight back into Shopify. We can work with the Shopify APIs. So lots of options there.
Tim was asking old fashioned.
Sure, you got it, Tim. Old fashioned, if that's what you prefer. I'll try one too.
Cool. Well, yeah, feel free to type in any other questions. We're here for another minute or two. Um, and again, feel free to reach out to us or Rodney directly. Daniel's also, I think Daniel's Daniel R at gemfine.com, but feel free to reach out to any one of us. Or I could also point you in the right direction with my email on the screen. Um, Doesn't look like we have any other questions coming in. So thanks everyone for joining the webinar today. Really appreciate it. Thanks for spending your time with us. And feel free to reach out anytime. We're happy to help. Thanks, Daniel and Rodney, for your involvement and participation.
Anytime.
All right. Thanks, everyone. All right.
Thank you,
Have a good
everyone.
rest of your afternoon. All right. Take
Thank
care.
you.